Welcome back to Obscured Reality, beaming BS since '89. That's what Bob Lazar said. All right, tonight, another making of a new conspiracy. This has to do with the missing retired Major General William Neal McCasland. We're going to create a new conspiracy theory here, or possibly change the current one or add to it. As you know, came up with one last week right after the story broke. And as you see, everyone else has too. It's all over. There's a little more to the story than we knew, and it actually is completely unrelated to him. However, quite possibly could be very, very related to him. So let's go ahead and start a new conspiracy theory here. And we're not really starting this one. This is just popped up, and you're not going to find it in major news outlets, but on all the other ones you will. It's only a matter of time before the major ones get this. But there's some interesting shit going on.
Oh, yeah.
So let's begin. Tonight, we're not starting with theories. We're starting with what is known, and then we'll follow the connections where they actually lead. And you're not going to believe where they lead. Well, you've probably already snuck a peek at stuff.
I may have.
You should stop doing. Anyways.
Oh.
2 people, 2 disappearances, 1 shared ecosystem. Advanced aerospace research funded by the United States government. The disappearance of Monica Reza. On June 22nd, 2025, as you may never have heard, 60-year-old woman named Monica Reza disappeared while hiking in the Mount Waterman area of the Angeles National Forest. She was last seen around 9 a.m. Angeles National Forest. Her description, 4'11", gray hair, wearing a red long sleeve shirt. I think this is a good time to pull up a picture. Let's you can have a peek here. I'll just leave this up for you to stare at right now. So that's her on the left, and this is William Neal McCasland, the missing retired general, major general. Keep an eye on them. They're not going to move, but she was out hiking. She was not hiking alone. She was with a group. This was 3 people, her, 2 others. At some point during the hike, the group separated. Monica was last seen on the trail, and then she was gone. To reiterate what is actually out there, they split up. So someone was way out in front. So it was Monica and one other person, I believe was a male, who were behind. At one point, they were about 30 feet apart, and we'll probably read some of his quotes in here. But he had turned around, he saw her, she was waving and smiling, and next thing, she was good. She was just gone. Nobody's found her. So, search and rescue launched a massive multi-agency response. Ground teams, air support, canines, advanced search tools. Officials described it as an extraordinary search involving resources from across California. After roughly a week, the initial search phase ended. The case was transferred to the LA County Sheriff's Missing Persons Unit. No confirmed trace of Monica Reza has been found. So who was she? Now, here's where this case changes. There is mounting evidence, though not fully confirmed in a single official source, that Monica Reza may also be known as Monica Jacinto Reza, and more importantly, Monica A. Jacinto. The name appears in U.S. patent records tied to aerospace materials. So, what's up with this patent and this material? The patent number is US 2010/0266442A10. I believe it's A10, yes. What was this for? Burn-resistant, high-strength metal alloys. The purpose was to survive extreme oxygen-rich environments inside rocket engines. Why does this matter? In rocket propulsion, especially oxygen-rich systems, some metals ignite under pressure. Others fail structurally. This patent describes alloys designed to not ignite and maintain strength under extreme heat and pressure. These are not theoretical materials. They are mission-critical aerospace components. The material is named either Mondalloy or Mondalloy. It's Mondalloy. There's not 2 L's. Mondalloy. It's a nickel-based super alloy used in turbo pumps, pre-burners, high-pressure oxygen systems. In simple terms, this is the type of material that makes modern rocket engines possible. The inventor. Patent records list Monica A. Jacinto as a co-inventor. That's important because Monica Reza is Monica Jacinto Reza. However, we need to keep in mind with the patent office, at least from what I found, they go by last name. So there should not be a discrepancy, you would think. So her connection to Rocketdyne, if you've heard of this company, the same name, Monica Jacinto, appears in connection with Aerojet Rocketdyne, a company that builds rocket engines, works directly with NASA and the U.S. Department of Defense. This is not peripheral work. This is core propulsion technology tied to national security systems. You've never heard of Rocketdyne, Aerojet Rocketdyne. It is a company, major government contractor for a long time now. So we now have 3 name forms. We have Monica A. Jacinto, that's for the patent and engineering, Monica Jacinto Reza in public references, and Monica Reza, the missing person. What this suggests, most likely, Jacinto is maiden name, Reza is a married name. We don't know that as fact, and I'm not claiming that is the case.
It could be a hyphenated name also. A lot of Hispanics hyphenate names.
Yeah, I'll tell you how this came about. It was a fight between me and Chat GPT. I won. I'll tell you at the end how this came about, and this is weird. So this is a common pattern: professional work, maiden name, later life, married name. Again, we're not confirming or saying that's a fact. We don't know the deal with the name discrepancy. What is not confirmed? There is no single official document that explicitly states Monica A. Jacinto equals Monica Reza, but the overlap is specific. The field is specialized. The name combination is uncommon. The connection is plausible but not fully proven. This is where General McCasland enters. Now we introduce the second figure, William Neal McCasland, retired U.S. Air Force Major General, former commander of the Air Force Research Laboratory, or AFRL. Remember that. What does AFRL do? They oversee advanced aerospace R&D, controls billions in funding, works directly with contractors like Aerojet Rocketdyne. If Monica Jacinto worked on advanced propulsion materials, then AFRL would have been involved in funding, oversight, and program direction, all of which we know McCasland was doing. McCasland's role, he oversaw the type of programs that fund materials like Mondaloy. So McCasland's disappearance, we already know he disappeared February 2026. And the details that were reported, he left his home, left behind personal items, entered a remote outdoor area, and never returned. Just like Monica, no confirmed recovery, no definitive explanation. What are the similarities? So let's keep this factual. Monica Reza, she disappeared while hiking. Last seen with others, massive search and no trace. McCasland disappeared outdoors, left items behind and no trace. Shared factors, both of them highly intelligent, connected to aerospace defense ecosystem. They both disappeared in outdoor environments without physical resolution. So what can actually be said? Supported facts are that Monica Reza is missing. A Monica Jacinto is tied to a real aerospace patent. The patent involves critical propulsion materials, and McCasland oversaw programs that fund that type of work. Not confirmed is that Monica Reza equals Monica Jacinto, that the two disappearances are connected, any classified or non-public explanation. So here's the reality. We have a missing hiker, a real aerospace patent, a defense contractor, a general who funded similar work, and 2 disappearances. What we have is an overlap. What we do not have is proof of causation. So this is where obscured reality plants its flag. Not in speculation, not in dismissal, but in the gap between. What's documented and what hasn't been explained. If you have information regarding Monica Reza or William Neal McCasland, contact the appropriate authorities, because right now 2 people are still missing and the facts we do have do not close the case. So this came up in not a major news agency things, right? This popped up somewhere else. I was trying to look into McCasland, see if there was any updates, and this popped up on a website. Someone found this info, and they're not the only one posting about it or in news sources posting this material. So it is currently out there. He specifically stated this Monica Reza filed this patent. She worked for Aerojet, blah, blah, blah. what what was the second name? Rocketdyne, Aerojet Rocketdyne. She did work for them. Um, Now, where the discrepancies come into place and why they are in our story is because so we have the patent number. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I asked ChatGPT to do some digging, and we started seeing a name discrepancy with the patent, and that's where we get this last name of Jacinto,
Mm-hmm.
but not Monica Reza.
Reza.
Um, However, it is Monica Reza. So got in a little fight with ChatGPT about it, and I'm like, look, there's some weird things going on here. If you look at this, there's some overlapping here. Like these two may be related. Could this be a maiden name in one of them?
Mm-hmm.
It dug deeper. I gave it the patent number. It dug deeper, and I had to fight with it some more. And finally, after my last phrasing, it's like, oh, you're right. Actually, there's more to it, and it found the extra information.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is super weird because she was where he worked.
Mm-hmm.
They should have had contact, you would assume.
I've read that they were in fact colleagues and that he oversaw something she worked on. This is what I
Now
have read.
that's a specific verbiage some sites are using. However, none of
Mm-hmm.
that is actually confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
They were not, to our knowledge, actually colleagues. Um, and there's no confirmed relation that he was over any program she was in.
Heard.
That's not confirmed yet. However, she was there. He was there. We already know he was running programs like this. He was
Mm-hmm.
overseeing them. He was in charge of R&D. He was funding, or in charge of that funding that comes in for it. So yes, he would have been doing this. That's why everyone's jumping to the assumption, which I'm not completely against either, because yeah, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, why is this important? You look at what she's working in. Um, you're talking again about classified or highly classified things. Exactly what William Neal McCasland's involved in. She goes missing 9 months ago out in the forest with two other people. This is a place she went weekly. She knew the trails. You don't just get lost. You can, and obviously it would be much easier in the mountains like that than in a place like where Neil McCasland went missing.
Mm-hmm.
But she shouldn't have just gone missing. The guy knew the last time he saw her. There are quotes, I don't have them, but he's like, I turned around, she was about 30 feet away, she was waving and smiling, and then next thing they knew, she was gone. This picture I have up, that is what she was wearing. I believe that was from that day. Those are the described clothing she was in, as well as Neil McCasland. Don't forget, he disappeared with a red backpack, or at least it's missing from the home. I forgot to mention that earlier. So there is most likely a definitive connection here between the two. So, what are the chances that 9 months ago, this lady, who's clearly highly intelligent, goes missing on trails that she frequents all the time on a weekly basis
Mm-hmm.
with two other people, and nobody's been able to find her? He knows where the last spot is he saw her because he turned around and saw her, and they were waving and smiling.
Right.
So I'm sure he would have been able to point out to authorities approximately where he was the last time he saw her,
Mm-hmm.
and about where he may have been when they realized she's
Gone.
where is she, right?
Right.
Um, you don't just go missing as an adult, okay? And they're on clearly marked trails. So there's no make a turn into some trees and you're gone. I mean, those are clear trails. She knows the trails too. If she had some type of medical condition and a heart attack and fell down, I mean, obviously she would have been found. You look at her clothing, you're going to see the red.
Yeah.
They've been looking for her. There's zero freaking trace. Same with McCasland. Just no trace, gone. And he's in an area where if he say had a heart attack and fell down and died, he should have been found.
Yeah.
There's no reason he shouldn't have. You can think of wild animals, mountain lions, right? But no
Mhm.
blood, no indication of any of that. And you're gonna, with an attack like that, even if the mountain lion was able to kill you quickly and drag you off somehow,
There's still gonna be
you're,
blood.
you're going to find blood.
Yeah.
You're going to find blood. So there's very clearly a possible connection here.
Hmm.
And for me, and I think Obscured Reality, um, this goes back to coincidence. McCasland goes missing. That's already weird because of what he did and the fact that he showed up in Tom DeLonge emails that are stating, I guess I got to pull the emails, that he was in this UFO thing. There was something
Hmm.
going on with him talking to DeLonge, possibly even helping get some of the people in there that DeLonge got in there. So his situation's already weird. And then we find out this lady actually went missing 9 months ago. Nobody really even heard about it. I read news every day, never saw a thing that I
Right.
recall. And she just happens to work at a place which was the same place as him. No, he didn't work for Aerojet Rocketdyne, but I believe she was working out of possibly Wright Patterson or something. I'm not sure. But anyways, he was over these entities, these programs. And what are the chances that actually 9 months ago she went missing? Similar circumstances, outdoors, right?
Yeah.
Hiking. McCasland, either they're not 100% sure, but he went for either a jog, a run, a walk, or a hike. But it was supposedly out in the trails behind the homes there. Um, they're both related, you could say, in a sense, by their work,
Hmm.
as well as them both disappearing. So, what are the chances of that coincidence happening? That's the biggie. And you don't want to jump to conclusions, but I don't see how you could not look and I'm not saying law enforcement isn't looking, but I don't know how you couldn't connect these two and at least have one person go down this road
Right.
and see, what the hell's going on, because this is weird. Um, and as it relates to the UFO topic, this has been a long alleged thing. People going
Yes.
missing for stuff, and if McCasland was talking to Tom DeLonge, which it's very clear Tom DeLonge knew who he was in the emails,
Hmm.
well, it's safe to say McCasland was involved somewhere in the UAP thing with Tom DeLonge. We know it. To what extent, it wouldn't be unplausible for someone to go missing. And you got to remember, he's got knowledge on so much stuff, classified
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
Not that he would give that up, but he may be able to point
Provide
people
clarification.
point people down specific roads.
Yeah.
Maybe someone got to Monica Reza and maybe she was disclosing some information or talking, maybe not doing anything illegal or against company policies, right?
Right.
But maybe she was talking as well. I don't know. I'm curious what you think about this. I look at this and I saw that today. I was like, you have to be shitting me. So I did a lot of research looking to verify, see, is this a bullshit website? What am
Right.
I
So I
reading?
have
And
two.
no, it's everywhere.
I have two possible conspiracy theories. One of them completely ridiculous. The other one kind of plausible. I'll let you decide which one's what. First one. They have both been abducted by
Aliens.
foreign governments
Okay.
to work on new types of secret craft. Or
Okay. I'm going to counter
or
that in a minute. Remind me.
no worries. Or they both got dragged off by either a mountain lion or a bear.
um,
Like I said, one's very plausible, the other one's completely ridiculous. Take your choice.
so you're not leaning in towards possibly our own government being involved here.
I mean, yeah, our own government absolutely could be involved.
That'd be a third one.
Yeah, I feel like just in the conspiracy theory realm, just because they are kind of slightly ridiculous, I would have to go with the foreign secret government has
Okay.
snatched them up.
So here's the thing. I've thought about that one because that's clearly a possibility here, I think. But for him, yes. She was out in the middle of a trail in the mountains with two friends. To my knowledge, there's been no reporting of them seeing other people that may be odd. They'd have to get her out of there. And they're not, you'd hear a helicopter. They're not going down the side of the mountain. They're going to take the trails. She just vanished.
Right.
Um, I don't know if there's bears out there where they are or not. Obviously, mountain lions are a big possibility where Monica Reza was, of course, but you're gonna see something. They did extensive searching. They actually brought out canines. They would have picked up blood. It would have been close to the trail. If there wasn't blood on the trail, there would have been blood near the trail. The dogs would have picked her scent up. There's nothing. They have no leads. There is zero with both disappearances. And I've thought about that with, the animal thing, and I'm not so sure.
Right.
I'm not trying to go against that animal one, but I'm not so sure. But it's the only real explanation that is down to earth and would make sense. As far as a foreign actor, like you said, I think that could fit his case, right? But her, again, nobody reported any odd looking people, a group of Russians or group of Chinese, or they could obviously contract someone within the US to do it too, right?
Oh yeah, easily.
But there's only one way out, and that's on that trail. You're not going up and down the mountain to drag a body out.
Right.
So it's really weird, and I would think the dogs would have picked up on the scent as well and followed that scent, and there'd be some weird reporting about that, but there's nothing. There's literally nothing. I don't even know where to go. I think it's highly interesting now. Before, if you'd asked me with the McCasland thing, I'd say it's interesting, but there's nothing to go on. We can
Right.
speculate and come to conclusions that aren't 100% factual, and that is easy to do, as you see. But now that this comes back to light, and we see there's a clear relation between the two, we see she's involved in classified work. I just don't know where to go. It's a million times more interesting now.
Yeah.
But
Her disappearance is very odd.
yeah, part of me wants to lean towards the possible animal thing, at least in her case, but I just don't find it plausible with the extensive searching they did and with canines. I
Yeah.
don't see that. It smells weird. Abduction by people, sure. I'd have to see where this happened and get an idea of, is there another way out that's not as difficult as going up or down the side of the mountain, and not necessarily staying on the trail. Maybe there's split offs. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they would have had to been following them. That's the thing. They would have had to follow them from her home, meet up with the friends, meet up here, go hiking for God knows how long. I think they were on their way back, but I'm not sure. That just seems like way too much. She just happened to split off from the other ones and then went missing.
Maybe she went to go pee and thought it was just going to be a quick pee and she'll catch up in a second.
Yeah,
And
what
that pee,
happened to her? Sure.
the pee turned into an abduction by human or by animal.
Well, I mean, now you can see how easy it is to make a conspiracy theory because
Yes.
there's already multiple options on the table, I think.
Mhm.
And then there's going to be alien abduction stuff thrown in there. What about Bigfoot?
No,
That's an
absolutely
area
not.
that's been spotted. So I don't know. I mean, it's super weird now, I think. I think this adds a whole nother level to the story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I think it needs to be looked into because there could most definitely be a relation. I hope it's not foreign. I really do. I'd rather hope it's an animal than that, because you could be talking about painful, torturous days and nights for a long time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you see this today, or did you
I did.
go
No, I
sleeping
did.
after I said something?
No, I actually saw it earlier today through through
Mhm.
Google feed.
What'd you think when you saw it?
I was just kind of like, "You're kidding me!" Like, I don't know. It just nothing surprises me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. And look at what she was working on. I mean, you're talking about materials that are kind of crazy, and people are going to associate this with UAP. And when I say UAP, I guess what we're really meaning is flying saucers and alien spacecraft, which no confirmation of, people.
Right.
Jesus. I don't know. I'm thinking we're going to see more come out probably in the next 10 months, meaning let's wait and see for another person to go missing.
I hope not, but
I'm
I
not joking.
mean,
If it happens, they do it. So what's the chances? It just seems weird. No people around, so animal is probably the best plausible explanation. I don't see her wandering off and just getting lost. She went there weekly, so I don't know. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen in the future? Anything?
Hopefully not another one going missing. I hope that they at least resolve and find him
Him, yeah.
one
It's
way or
funny.
another.
Yeah.
Because I mean, yeah.
Well, hopefully the UAP people can use this as a big push towards Trump to get him to actually get material out, as he's said a few times now, that recently as well, that he's
Hmm.
gonna release it all, but there's no actual executive order, so they're not gonna do it until he does that anyways.
Right.
And they're just, if there is anything to see there, they're just gonna hide what they don't want you to see anyways. So redact it all. Yep, exactly. Exactly. So speaking about redaction, and then we're out of here. I saw a funny shirt the other day. I saw it
Yeah.
online. Um, I don't even remember what it said, but let me see if I took a snapshot of it. It was pretty funny, and I want it. It basically had to do with the government bullshit of redactions when people FOIA request things, and like 90% of it's redacted. And it said something funny on the shirt, which you could piece together, but most of it had the black highlight over it, right? So you couldn't read anything, but the remaining words um, were hilarious. They made something up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Hang on. Hang on.
A
I mean, this is
FOIA,
easy.
a
The
redacted FOIA crest.
redaction t-shirt. Yep, there, right there. Here, I'll just share it real quick. Let's share it right now. You might want to get one of these. I think it's hilarious. Hang on. Zoom in here. Everything's redacted but these words. Everything is fine. Trust your government. I thought it was hilarious.
That's great.
Yep.
That's so iconic for right now.
Yep. You just got to remember it puts a target on you to the left. So maybe be.
I mean, I definitely already have shirts that would put a target on me.
Oh, me too. I remember one time, this is over probably about 15 years ago. I was watching TV with someone. It was something on Comedy Central, and this comedian guy was wearing this T-shirt. I bought it. I was like, oh my god, this is hilarious. So it was just a sketch of a mountain with white on it. So it was just a line. You could clearly see that line was a mountain. It was white because of snow. And there was like a stick figure picture of a skier or something like that. And it said ski Iraq. I couldn't stop laughing for like 20 minutes. I don't know why, but I found it so funny because it's like, yeah, people are going to take a vacation to go skiing in Iraq, right? I don't know. It was hilarious. I wound up buying it. Now it's a little too small for me. So, but it was hilarious. This redaction t-shirt, I want it. I think it's hilarious.
Great. That is really good. My favorite t-shirt that I have that kind of paints a target on me says, "May the warm glow of the burning billionaire class light the way." It's from Futile Device Company. Shout out to them.
No comment, which should be plenty of comment. Yeah, and may it light the way. The one I get the most on is my PETA t-shirt. So
people eating tasty animals.
Yep.
Yes.
I have had numerous people come up and like, oh my god, that shirt's great.
I know. I saw one that it was a middle finger, and it said Jesus Christ is a little bitch. And I was just like, oh my god.
It's gotta be real to be that though.
I know. It was just like a big middle finger, and it said Jesus Christ is a fucking bitch, and I was like, this is hilarious.
That'll get you a bang bang.
Oh,
but
I know it was at a metal show, so I mean, like, fair game. But like, I was cry laughing. I also have one that says "The Ladies Happen Terrorist Society," because back in the day, women would take their hairpins and they would stab men who would terrorize them and like harass them. And so the men would turn around and be like, "Oh, screw these women."
Asian women use a chopstick for their bun.
Probably.
It's a weapon. Better weapon than a little hairpin.
I mean, have you seen those hairpins? Those were really long, big, thick needles because they had to go through that. Yeah, it wasn't just a
Got
hairpin; it
it.
was an actual hat pin. The ones that
Then
would
I
pin
guess
their
I'm wrong
hats.
in saying chopsticks for the Asian ladies. I just always see it
Yeah,
as that. But now that you mentioned that,
it's an
I've
actual
seen
hat
other
pin.
hairdos similar with the sticks through them. Got it.
From the early 1900s, turn of the
Yeah.
century, when women would wear hats pinned into their hair because their hats were tiny. Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm Yeah,
Well, you'll never see my hair like that.
the ladies have been terrorist society.
Yeah, they
Uh
still are.
yeah. I thought that one was great.
Well, that's it for William McCasland and Monica Reza.
Mama,
Um, Stay tuned. There has to be more to come on this. I'm going to make a prediction. Someone else is probably going to go missing within the next 12 months, and we'll see. But I think this is just enough that people are really going to start digging. And I hope it's a big push and some good change comes out of it.
I
With that
hope.
said, we've been beaming BS since '89, and we're going to continue. Peace.